Like, I'm not gonna lie, because of my father being who he was, and my father, I kind of took for granted, like, a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I didn't realize how super tight he was until after he passed, and like I got in like my high school years when I really started listening to music for like lyricism, and like when I really started to like. Honestly, when I started listening to Kanye West, my mind state changed. And then I went back and listened to my father's music, and I was like, oh, shit. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, the person that's behind, like, Kanye's, like, greatest, like, mixing, mastering, guitar riff solos, got his start on my dad's second album. He was poached from Selena. He used to play bass for Selena. Y'all know this kid named Ill Fated?
I've heard the name.
He has a similar story, man.
Word.
Like not now, because like Ill Fated is like established for like who he is now. But like when I first met Ill Fated, he was super hungry, and he would be like, "Yo, let me hop in y'all session." You know what I'm saying? Similar stories of like how Mike Dean used to be outside Rap A Lot Studios.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like let me get in y'all sessions. You know what I'm saying? And like nobody would fuck with him until my dad brought him on. And he played guitar on the Straight from the Clark remix. That we from the Clark, that's Mike Dean going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And from there, he co-executive produced the whole We Gon' Funk With Your Mind album with my dad.
Oh, that's some history right
And
there.
from
yeah,
there,
that's what's up. That's a gem.
And from there, he starts working with Odd Squad. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, he starts working with Scarface. And they get into the fix sections. And then from there, Kanye poaches him from those sessions. From like the This Can't Be Life sessions, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just, you know, like hindsight, you feel me?
Yeah,
Like
full circle, man.
And that whole Kanye thing, that whole Kanye experience was just crazy.
Season 2 of Gentleman's History Hour is sponsored by HughRepublic.com, HUERepublic.com. Go to HughRepublic.com and get the latest colors to rep your hue. Gentleman's History Hour, Season 2.
All right.
Yo, this the intro.
Breaker 2-1, breaker. It's your man Savvi. Once again, we're here on another episode of Gentleman's History Hour. I know a lot of y'all are wondering what the hell is going on. This is my first time. I jumped from behind the camera, man. We have a very special guest, and I had to come from behind the camera for this guest, man. So we got one of Houston's most innovative artists, one of the people who really like push the envelope when it comes to their artistry and their hip hop and bridging the gap between art and hip hop, man. This dude is like, you know, I've known him since he was a little pup, man, and it's been like a wonderful thing to be able to see him kind of really come of age, man, and kind of really grow into the man that he's become, man. I'm really proud of him on a whole lot of levels, man. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gentleman's History Hour. Tame, that's T-A-M-E, the aspiring me.
Oh my God, man. I felt like you could have said more, but not just like Nah, man, we appreciate it, man. We accept the flowers, man. Hey, man, like, so like I was that kid at like, I was that like young adult that would like go to different churches, and like when they do like the morning announcements, they'd be like, are there any visitors? I'd be like, we accept that in the spirit in which it was given. You feel me? So, you know, I accept that in the spirit in which it was given. I appreciate you.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, because I know we got a lot to really touch on today. And, you know, we're going to try to cook this within, you know, our hour time frame and whatnot, man. So we definitely got to delve into your history, man. Yeah. So last week, you know, just for the folks who just tuning in this week, we had, you know, this man's brother who came through, you know what I mean? The man that he came up with, we had Flagger Woods, man. And so it was only right, you know what I mean, that we brought, you know what I mean, part 2 of the story to connect some more of those dots, man. And
yes,
so let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Let's jump into it, man. We got to get into that history a little bit, your personal history. So for the folks out there that don't know, now mind you, we go back, but a lot of folks don't really know, like, okay, where is Tame from? You know what I mean? Because you're such like a universal, like I look at you like a world citizen. So it's like it's hard to put a finger on where your style and your vibe come from.
Nice.
So tell the people about where you from and how it was growing up.
Oh man, well, like Tame is an acronym for the aspiring me. Over like the course of like living and like having like hindsight, it's come to mean more things. My mom and my aunt's name are both Tammy, you know what I'm saying? So like I honor them in that regard. And yeah, man, tame, you know what I'm saying, in a literal sense of like what tame is like, you know, like trying to like maintain and like trying to like control myself. You feel me? Like not let myself get like dived into much of my vices or anything like that. Just keeping a level head and just really just trying to be whatever it is that God has for me to be, whatever the path that he has for me to walk, just line up with that will and exert some free will in the process and try to make some good art.
Yeah, he's such an MC, y'all. His name is a triple entendre. You feel
Bars,
me?
Yeah. For real, man.
So that's real stuff,
and,
you know.
And
being a technical MC, I can appreciate things
and
like that.
just like a rapper, you know, like the added stuff doesn't come on until hindsight. It's not like I thought of that. It's like, oh yeah, it also means this, so yeah, it means that.
Word, yeah. So, but that's when you kind of, you know, living in that vibe, man. It's like you said, the universe starts, you know, kind of speaking through you in ways you don't even realize it. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So where exactly are you from? You know what I mean? So,
well, to start by where I'm from, I would have to talk about how my parents met. My mom is from Natchez, Mississippi. My dad is from Lake Charles, Louisiana. My mom and her family moved to Houston after my granny got a job as a postmaster. They stayed in Missouri City. My mom burnt that house down, and then they moved to Harm Clark, and that's where she met my father. My father is from, like I said, Lake Charles. I really need to dive into my father's side of the family to learn about why they moved here. But my granny used to run a record store in the front of Harm Clark, and my granddad ran a club out of his like house.
okay.
So, you know, my dad and mom grew up together, and they met each other like that. And like they had me. My dad was 19, my mom was 18, and yeah, my dad was actually in prison when he had me. Got out 2.5 years, and I was with my father every day till he passed when I was 13. And yeah, that's pretty much how I'm here today.
Man, so, you know, with you delving, you know, that deep into your personal history and everything, so we can't just like skip past. Like,
I just skipped a lot. I actually just skipped a lot of shit.
You know, but that's cool though. You know what I mean. So, you know, with who your dad is and what he represents to the city of Houston. So, for those that don't know, his father is the legendary MC, one of Rap-A-Lot's, you know, coldest MCs, one of the dopest MCs in the game. He really was ahead of his time. And, you know, he's like a huge figure on the Houston hip-hop scene and on the national scene. But his father is the Big Mello. Yeah.
I grew up in Broadgate townhomes. I'm from Broadgate, from Broad Villa, from Mo City, the right side of 2234 if you're coming from the north side of Houston. It's on the right side. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm from. That's where we grew up at. After my father passed, my mom settled on that insurance check from Lexus because they had a recall on when the brakes failed. So my mom settled, got a really nice check, and moved us into a house in Lake Olympia. And then that's where, you know what I'm saying, a lot of weird shit started happening.
Okay, fair enough, man. So you know, with your dad, like I know, like you've definitely been like a person that's established your own identity, you know, outside of who your pops was. But can you kind of break down to the people, like, you know, when you realized who your dad was and what he represented, and you know, what was his actual influence on you kind of choosing the career path that you chose?
You know that expression that's like you're like either like your parents or you're nothing like them. You know, in that sense, you know, like I really grew up in music. I don't remember when I started. I remember the first time that I realized who my dad was, though, and in regards to outside of him being Curtis Donnell Davis. He had a show at International Ballroom. He was opening for West Side Connection. and Mac 10 and Ice Cube are like out there, and they're going through their whole routine, and be like, everybody like. So like their whole routine was making it look like they had an internal feud, and then making the audience side with which member of Dub C, of like what West Side Connection you was gonna rock with, and it actually worked really good. But he was like, everybody say fuck you Ice Cube, fuck you Ice Cube, and I'm sitting on the side of the stage with my dad, and he's like looking into the audience. He's like, yeah. You know, I said like, this is what we do.
Wow.
But it was West Side Connection's tour, but on the Houston stop, my dad was the headline act.
That's wild.
So you know what I'm saying, opening in what sense? You know, it was an international ballroom. If anybody knows, that's Highway 90 in Hillcroft. You know what I'm saying, right down the street from Butler Stadium, Butler Skating Rink. Shout out to all my teen club goers. But yeah,
I'm from the Stadium Bowl era. FYI.
So yeah, man.
Shout out.
We are at International Ballroom, and my dad has his third album out. It's like 1996 or 1997.
Mm-hmm.
He has his third album out, Southside Story, and he's doing Sucker Free. And he calls me out on stage, and he's like, Andy, sing the words. And I'm like, I'm playing too long, and I know my game is strong, suck it. And people are like, sucker free. I'm like, oh shit, they what's going on? You know, just that natural instinct to do like this, you feel me, with the microphone was always there. Never, like before then, never saw my dad perform. That was my first time seeing him perform.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, we were in like we were at like the merch table, and people flooded it. And he had crates that were like next to him, like he would be right here, and then like I was right here, and like in between us was a crate of tapes. And like people were just yelling, and he was just like taking the tapes and just throwing them out. Wasn't even selling them. It's just the merch table was just so packed. He was like, "Hey,
Man.
And that's when I was like, "Oh nah, he for real a rapper."
Yeah.
like you know. So yeah.
So does that tie into the first time you decided, yo, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be? Or did that happen at a different phase in your life?
Like it was never something that I decided. It's just like, I literally, yo man, I'm a rap, like I consider myself a rap baby, literally.
That's what's up. I mean, you said your grandmother had a record store, right?
Well, like she didn't have it. She was the general manager for it.
She ran a record store.
Yeah. She ran a record store in the front of the neighborhood. So like back in their time, you know what I'm saying, this is like a little bit after like segregation, but like black artists would still come through, but like they wouldn't play like the white venues. They would play venues like El Dorado Ballroom, you know what I'm saying, that like was only like booking like black acts at the time and stuff. And so like artists would come through like Marvin Gaye and shit like that, and like they would go to my granny's record store, or they would go to the record store in front of Harm Clark, and like my granny would like, you know what I'm saying, like be like hospitable towards them, and you know, like do like the whole like thing that like record stores do, like in stores and pop-ups.
Yeah.
And then my granddad is really a pimp. Like he like built out like, and like he's like really great with his hands, you know what I'm saying, like across from the house that like he has, he still tends to like a tomato field to this day in Harm Clark across the street from where he stays. He still tends to that tomato field. But yeah, he like built like a whole club. So like after they would do their shows, they would come back to the house for like the after party. And that's the environment that my dad grew up in.
Word.
So similar to how my dad grew up in that type of environment that like got him into entertainment and like nightlife and like being a performer, like I grew up with my dad in the studio.
That's
you know
multi-generational.
Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when my dad got out of jail in like 1992, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like me and my little brother Chad, you know, like Chad was born in 92, so he like so he probably doesn't remember this. But like me and my brother Chad, we would be up in Crazy C Studio in Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Just like in that little red room. You know what I'm saying? About the same size as this, you know what I'm saying? Carpet red on the walls. And just in there, just chilling, watching my dad work. And like I'm walking around touching knobs and shit, getting popped on the hand for like turning knobs. Yeah. Like in hindsight, I'm maxing out the compressor. Right. My dad's like, yo, you gotta chill.
Word. Man, you like literally the definition of growing up hip hop. I mean, for real.
Rap baby, man. Everybody think I'm crazy because a nigga ain't been home lately. You know what I'm saying? But what's been happening, man? I'm rapping. Shout out to my man Tom Cruise. It's a great song.
Right on. So, man, what was the year you wrote your first rhyme? Or when did you write your first rhyme?
7th grade. I don't remember what it was, but I remember getting kicked out of class for it. And I remember getting my ass beat for it. Like, I remember my dad coming up to the school.
Yeah.
Like, my mom worked for, like, Continental, you know what I'm saying? So she had, like, a regular, like, 9 to 5. My dad was getting royalty money, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he was getting royalty money and he was performing. So, like, when he dropped the album, it was hot. But when he wasn't, he was, like, stay-at-home dad, you know what I'm saying? And, like, he would, like, write, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have a studio at the crib, so he spent most of his time at the crib watching me and my little brother and writing. And he would take care of any discipline calls to the house. Any call to the house,
oh, nice.
He pulling up in that white Cadillac. White Cadillac slabbed and all, about to whoop my ass. Cause so it's like this, like in like English class, when the class first starts, it like usually like when you walk into the class, there's a prompt on the board. And like you have to like write like a little like journal entry about the prompt. I was like, fuck the prompt, I'm about to write a rap.
Okay. Hey,
you know what I'm saying? And,
some things never change.
Yeah. And Miss Bell was just like, Andrew, I'm about to call your father. Cause you like, you know what I'm saying? On top of me talking in class like all the time, like I was always a discipline problem as a kid. But on top of me talking in class, now I'm not doing my work. You know what I'm saying? As to where like beforehand, I would be talking in class because I already did my work. But now she's like, oh no, I'm about to call your dad. And I don't remember what the rhyme was, but I remember that ass whipping.
Oh, okay.
I remember that ass whipping for sure. Brown leather belt, thick. Yup.
Man, did all old school daddies have that old?
They all
my pops had like this big ass leather belt. We were scared of that belt.
Yeah,
boy.
man.
Like that.
And it was all the way brown. Not even a universal belt. Not even the one you switch on the black side. It was just brown, bro. It's just a brown ass belt. Like an unassuming, like show of like you gonna get your ass whooped belt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man, yeah. That
and my dad was $275, bro.
Ooh, yeah. The belt in our house, it had got a lot of mileage on it. So by the end, like it had like no buckle on it. So it's just like a leather strap, basically.
Damn, niggas whipped the buckle off.
Yeah, that's how my pops used to get busy with it. You feel me? So
yeah, man.
So I know about that, man. So
live all the way live. I bet you never knew that Houston. We in the house. So where we from? Houston.
This is Flash Gordon Parks. You're listening to Soul One. PeaceOfMind.com.
So, when you first started like rhyming or whatever, was it more so freestyling or was it writing right off the rip?
The first raps that we used to do was like freestyling in like the back of the bus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What year did Man come out?
Man, I can't tell you. That probably was like close to 2000, maybe 99. No, maybe, I don't know.
All right.
I gotta go check the dates. I gotta go fact check that.
Whenever the Man beat came out,
yeah,
the back of the bus freestyle was active.
Word.
Like literally, it was active. The back of the bus freestyle. Just imagine hearing that with like somebody hand ringing across that metal that's like at the top of the just bah, 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 yeah. And it was man, hold look, you know what I'm saying? I'ma come down. That's how we, you know what I'm saying? We was getting it. We was getting it.
So that's a perfect segue because you led me into something I really want to get into because we actually asked Flagger Woods about that as far as the influence of like Screw on the way that you presented your raps and stuff back in them days. So was that like a heavy influence for you or? I
mean, like that's what we thought rapping was. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just like innate to us. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever we would freestyle back in the day, nobody was coming with a different cadence. It was one kid in fucking 8th grade. Is in 8th grade in my gym class. This is one kid. I wish I could remember his name because he was the first person that I ever heard rap that I was like, yo, you suck. But he didn't suck. Like, he just flowed on a different cadence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had like a different cadence and a different pattern, and it was hard to keep up with when he was gonna rhyme.
Got you.
But like, you know, like that hindsight shit is a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
no
like,
doubt.
And like hindsight, I'm just like, yo, I wish I remembered this kid's name. If I remember his name, I would call him up and just be like, yo, man, you really was that nigga in 8th grade, bro. I just want to let you know that.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, he was like I remember us finishing up 8th grade and shit, and like hitting the showers and then putting our clothes on and then standing at the lockers like next to each other, and he would start rapping, and I'd be like, bro, but you're not even rhyming. And he'd be like, bro, you gotta listen harder. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he knew who he was. He was like,
So-
you weren't finna knock him off his square.
So, you know,
that's what's up, though.
So yeah, like I would say, and you know what I'm saying, like Screw and that whole culture, mainly Lil Flip for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know earlier we were talking about like the impact of like Zero, and like Zero definitely had the impact on the Mo City side. But for me, growing up, before Zero, it was Lil Flip. Like I'm not gonna lie, because of my father being who he was, and my father, I kind of took for granted, like a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I didn't realize how super tight he was until after he passed, and like I got in like my high school years when I really started listening to music for like lyricism, and like when I really started to like honestly when I started listening to Kanye West, my mind state changed, and then I went back and listened to my father's music, and I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, the person that's behind like Kanye's like greatest like mixing, mastering, guitar riff solos got his start on my dad's second album. He was poached from Selena. He used to play bass for Selena. Y'all know this kid named Ill Fated?
I've heard the name.
He has a similar story, man.
Word.
Like not now, because like Ill Fated is like established for like who he is now. But like when I first met Ill Fated, he was super hungry, and he would be like, yo, let me hop in y'all session. You know what I'm saying? Similar stories of like how Mike Dean used to be outside Rap-A-Lot Studios.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, let me get in y'all sessions, you know what I'm saying? And like nobody would fuck with him until my dad brought him on, and he played guitar on the Straight from the Clark remix. That we from the Clark, that's Mike Dean going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And from there, he co-executive produced the whole We Gon' Funk With Your Mind album with my dad.
Oh, that's some history right
And
there.
from
yeah,
there-
that's what's up. That's a gem.
And from there, he starts working with Odd Squad, you know what I'm saying? Then from there, he starts working with Scarface, and they get into the fix sections. And then from there, Kanye poaches him from those sessions, from like the This Can't Be Life sessions, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just, you know, like hindsight, you feel me?
Yeah,
Like that
full
whole-
circle, man.
And that whole Kanye thing, that whole Kanye experience was just crazy.
So yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, would you say that Kanye is probably like the gateway for you, like exploring like different stuff that was like outside of the region of Houston or that sound?
I would say Pharrell.
Okay.
Before Kanye.
Oh, nice.
But Kanye like kicked the door open. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? Like like I was listening to Pharrell like before Kanye. Like I was listening to his like production and shit just for the most part.
Word.
And like I liked how every beat he did, he sung the hook to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh no, this nigga's territorial.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So I I really was like a super like Pharrell NERD fan. You know what I'm saying? And then like around that same time, you know what I'm saying, like 50 Cent dropped and then Kanye dropped. And so like
Was it the first Kanye album or?
No, this was the mixtape. This is the Freshman Adjustment mixtape. I know this person name. I bought the Freshman Adjustment Adjustment mixtape from Byron Bray in high school, 9th grade. He sold that shit on a blue CDR. blue CDR, wrote on it Kanye West Freshman Adjustment. I bought that shit from him in 9th grade. And I was like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mixtape that had like the deep cut songs that like people really, bro, like that, I need to know now if you would ever down to get it popping, down to get it topless. Oh, I need to know you like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that Kanye, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I got into that on top of like the NERD shit really blew my mind. But Pharrell, I would say, is more so like the person that had like that groundwork as far as like that like opened my mind to it being outside of like anything else. And like even before that, like, you know, like DJ Screw, you know what I'm saying, just by him being a sheer DJ and the type of records that he introduced us to as like kids, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like R&B music until I heard Brandy's Wanna Be Down, Chopped and Screwed. And then I was like, nah, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm missing out. It's a whole world over here. So yeah, you know, Pharrell, DJ Screw, Lil Flip, Zero, Kanye.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
So at one point you mentioned like when you start listening to your pop's music, you start kind of picking up on lyricism. That was around the time you started realizing, oh, you know, there's another level of like lyricism and stuff like that. Yeah. So who would you say was like the artist that like really, I mean, outside of your dad, that really kind of opened your mind up to be like, oh, okay, there's different styles, different cadences, different writing techniques and stuff like that?
Eminem.
Okay.
The first album I ever bought with my own money that my dad let me buy was D12's Devil's Night.
Word.
Yeah. Man. And like we had like old like tape like bro, like everybody had that tape player though. Like the one that had like the doors on it, it was like the brown one that was about like this tall, and like you open it and it's like the doors had like the 2 speakers on the inside, and it's like opening with like the flaps and the tape players on the inside right there, right? Everybody had that shit.
Word.
Literally everybody had that shit. All right, so we had fucking Sound Waves. It's like me, my mom, and my dad, and like Chad. We're at Sound Waves, and I was a big Eminem fan. You know what I'm saying? And so like I got the D12's album because this was like Purple Pills was out, and I was the only kid that knew the explicit version of Purple of like Purple like I knew the song was called Purple Pills instead of Purple Hills. So
yeah.
So I get that tape and I come to the front of the register, and my mom was like, "Oh no, sir." Because the album name was Devil's Night. And a week before that, bro, it's just so much little shit that ties into this. So like a week before that, they had this thing at school where like the teachers took us to like the library and like we could and like we could pick out any book that we wanted.
Word.
And I'm at E.A. Jones Elementary at the time. And like I go into the library and I pick this book out on like Satanism, on like satanic culture. I don't know why. It's just that's the book that I picked out. And then my teacher, Miss Webb, called my mom and was like, hey, he just picked up this book. And then a week later, I'm in Sound Waves and I picked up the album called Devil's Night. And my mom's like, no way. But like my dad's like, Tammy, it's just music. Let it.
Yeah.
You know, so I got that Devil's Night album. And when I heard that, that's when I realized that no, it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Devil's Night because I came back to rule this time. Is that what? Even the song, that's how people get fucked up. It's like a lot of valuable jewels. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, D12 Eminem
Dope.
Was like when I found out that like nah, like Detroit really got some spitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been on the record as saying I think per capita, especially during a certain period of time, I think Detroit definitely like it's something in the water out there. I think they have the best.
It's got that Flint water.
I do like for a long time. I feel like it's like man, like you know, like all of their MCs that I was hearing.
Yeah,
they was crushing it. You know what I mean? Like on a whole nother level, like across the bar. Like the standard was like super high.
You fuck with new Detroit artists like 42 Dugg, like TJ XX?
I'm not as in touch like I used to be, but man, yeah.
I don't know if there's nothing for you there, bro. They just scamming. They just rapping about scamming.
Oh, well,
say, let me tell you about this one time at Walmart. I walked in smooth. I had to play it smart. Grab me some phones in an old shopping cart.
That's kind of off my radar.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole different wave.
Yeah.
But you know, Detroit gonna Detroit. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey man, you know, it's economics, socio-economics, man. It's just they're gonna play into everything.
And the
that
home
comes
of
out in the music
culture.
too.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's up. we talked about lyricism, so we want to go back a little bit into your story, man. So tell me about the name of your first crew that you formed on the MC tip, on the hip hop tip.
Hustle League.
Hustle League.
Hustle League. Some people that y'all may know were a part of Hustle League. My boy T Stacks, Sauce Walker.
Oh,
it was
word.
like middle school. It was like some middle school shit.
Word.
Yeah. That was like those are pretty much like the notable names that y'all are gonna know. But yeah, me and my homeboy T Stacks really was like at the helm of it.
How many of y'all was it in that crew?
Me, T Stacks, A-Walk, Sergio, Nate, Marquise, Isaiah, Tanise, Mark. 9. Yeah,
that was a deep crew. Yeah, that was like some real OG like crew hip hop, culture type of.
Yes, sir. We held down the. We used to all skip lunch together and just rap at lunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sound like some stuff we do.
Yeah. This is just the crew. But yeah, man, that was the first crew, Hustle League. So, and like this is gonna tie into like how I met Flagger. So like we have a mutual best friend by the name of Byron. And like Byron's like my day one best friend since like 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my homie. But like after my father passed, we moved from Broadgate Townhomes, and like around that same time, Flagger had moved to Broadgate. You know what I'm saying? So like I stayed away from Broadgate for like a good like 2 years.
Okay.
But like when I came back, that was the day. Like when I came back to the hood, that was the day that I met Flagger. Word. You know what I'm saying? And like I brought the homies with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, like my homeboy Isaiah had a car, and I'm just like, bro, like let me take y'all to where I come from. Yeah. Let's go on the other side of 2234. You know what I'm saying? Like we over here with ducks and shit. Let me take y'all over to where it's just a whole lot of brick. Yeah. So like that's how like that like whole thing happened, and like we like kind of like merged like my new group of friends with like my old group of friends. Yeah. And then we went from being Hustle League to Phonetic Hustlers Entertainment, and then we changed the name to Family Here Eternally, which is around the time that we met y'all.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Flagger did put a little bit of a precursor to the story. He said he met you before he met you that time as well. So
yeah. So, no. That was the day.
Oh, that was the day.
That was the day at the basketball, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, just tell that story. We got to move on, but yeah, just tell that quick part of that story.
Man. Yeah. It's like one of those days where, like, if you ever had a childhood day where you're like, yo, this is the most lit day in the hood ever. You're going to remember this day forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like one of those days. It was like one of the most lit days in the hood. I had brought a whole bunch of friends from like my new neighborhood and like my new friend circle. I had brought them over to like Broadgate Townhome, and they had never been in a setting like that. Like these are kids who like moms are like doctors, lawyers, and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm feeling like a little ego about being able to like bring them over to like this shit. You know what I'm saying? And like kind of like a hood stamp for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I used to tell niggas all the time, I'm not from Lake Olympia. I'm from Broadgate. I used to tell niggas at Elkins that because niggas try to play me. Niggas tried to bully me and play me because of who my father was. So I'd be like, nigga, I'm not from it. I'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So we go back to the hood, bro, and Byron's at the basketball court, and it's this kid at the basketball court that's shooting like this, bro. Me and Byron used to do this thing to where like we would like narrate like scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine me being right here and be like, the quality is behind the camera and he's operating, and his right hand is near the console, his left hand's touching his thigh. We used to do that shit just to be funny. Yeah. And so like I'd be like, he's shooting off his forehead and yep, he's gonna miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like just like going hard. And like that nigga just got mad. And I was just like, bro, your shot trash. You suck. And yeah, from there, we like went back to Byron's crib and we were inside and like Byron was like, oh yeah, he rapped too. And like, so he had spit a written. I don't know if he told you this part. He
did mention that.
He spit a written, bro. Him and Byron was like spitting writtens. And then I freestyled. The freestyle was so crazy, bro. The freestyle was so crazy. Anthony was like, "Nah, bro, you got it, bro. What's up, bro?" Like, Flag was just like, "Nah, bro, yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying?" So yeah, that's how we met, man. From roasting to rapping to best friends.
Man, that's the beauty of hip hop, man. I love stories like that, man. When you kind of go from like you almost being antagonist, and then you get busy, you rock. And yo, you nice, bro. We need to rock together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Straight up, man.
I love hearing
Straight
those type of stories, man. But yeah, well, tell the people about like the different evolutions of your MC name. So your first MC name to your current name now.
Man, I used to go by Lil Mello.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like super short lived. That was probably for like a summer.
Okay.
And then like I started going by ADD because of my name, Andrew Devon Davis. And then I had always had like the website The Aspiring Me as like my brand, because like my whole brand identity was about like stepping outside and creating for myself from like under my father's like shadow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like one of the 48 laws is like, don't step into a great man's shoes. You know, it's just like being able to like know what came before me and like to know that like, yo, he had his own legacy. And by me choosing to be in this career, I'm just gonna like automatically put myself in a space to be like overshadowed by his legacy. You know what I'm saying? And so like with that, I kind of like separated. I didn't tell people who my father was for like a long time. And I just kind of like built my own brand with like The Aspiring Me. It's always been my brand.
Gotcha.
2011, I get booked to play South by Southwest by Matt Sanzala. Matt Sanzala books myself and Fat Tony and my homeboy Blackie to play this showcase. He also books this group called ADD Plus at the same time. The group ADD Plus had this LP out called When Pigs Fly. Y'all should go check it out. It's pretty cool. They had this LP called When Pigs Fly. And I hadn't even put out my first album yet. I just had the EP, the Aspire Me EP in 2010. And like this was in the blog era, so like they were getting like hella coverage from like Two Dope Boys, all that shit, you know. And you know, like I'm getting on the showcase because like I got Houston Press love, and because I'm cool with Matt. Fun fact: Matt Sanzala and Zen brought hip hop to South by Southwest, and one of the first acts that Matt Sanzala ever booked was my father at South by Southwest.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So like it's just like different type of love.
Yeah.
But all that being said, Matt was like, I gotta take you off the show. Because their booking agent and manager started, like ADD Plus's booking agent and manager started going crazy. There's like, yo, like we're like, yo, like he's getting tagged for press that we get, and like it would happen too. Like the Dallas Observer, because like they're like based out of Dallas. The like Dallas Observer like tagged me in like a post and it's like ADD is gonna be out, and you know me, I'm just letting this shit rock. I'm like, shit, fuck it.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So
I am gonna be there.
So you went from Lil Mello to ADD, and then you're on the bill with ADD Plus, who was getting mad love and mad press. So it's like you just double winning.
Yeah. And so that like Matt's like, yo, I gotta take you off, and you should consider changing your name, because like these guys are gonna be around for like a minute. Hindsight, they're not even a group anymore. But you know, so like me, Matt, my homeboy Fat Tony, and the label owner, the guy that we was working with at the time, Bubba from like Homeschool Records, we like sitting in his studio, and like we start thinking of names and the Aspiring. They didn't like nah. And then I'm just like, bro, like, why don't I just switch it to the Aspiring Me? It's always been my website name. It's always been established with my brand. It's an easy transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it sounds more like a band than like a, and back then I had this notion of like, yo, with a name like the Aspiring Me, I could pass that band name on.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? It would be like on some like the Temptations type shit, to where it's like like the Temptations today aren't like nigga David Ruffin, you know what I'm saying? They long gone, you feel me? But the Temptations are still a band, you know?
Yep.
So it was like that. So like made the name change, and then the Tame came as like niggas be like, so we really gotta say the Aspiring Me?
Yeah,
nigga.
Like I remember the first time I had a Tribe Called Quest. I was like, man, what kind of name is that? But when you jam, when you rock, when you get busy, that name becomes like, you know, household name. You feel me?
Exactly.
So you show the work and you prove it, then you know that's what happened. You know, they'll adopt it. Trust me.
Man. I'm glad I stuck with it, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I stuck with it, because like people see the name now and they're just like, yo, like this is a really great name. You know what I'm saying? And then like the Tame is just like the tame is just like, I don't know, like the tame is just like the black effect of it. You feel me? Like the tame is just like the slang of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like people need something to call out to. You know what I'm saying? And like in this field of like call and response, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of like we're the artists, we're creating music, we're putting it out there, and like we gauge response, even as it translates to like a live show, you know? In this game of like call and response.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, like, let me put something out there that they can respond to.
Word.
That like when they see me, they can be like, hey, yo, team. And I just be like, hey, yo, what's good? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, yeah, we got like a few more minutes left, man. I want to touch on some really critical points.
Let's get it.
Before we move on. So first, like one thing I wanted to like, just like give you props on, man, give you your flowers. Is like I love like your vision with the way that you move, man. And one thing I peeped is like how you like bridge the music and the hip hop with the art scene. So kind of what was your inspiration for like kind of moving in that way? Was that like by happenstance or was that like something like
nah,
you
man,
thought through? You know what
I did a lecture on this at Lone Star College. And like maybe I'll do one in like the future if like Prairie View or like U of H comes through or like TSU or
Right.
Rice comes through. Just fuck with me, y'all. But it's like how to enable, like how your no can enable your yes. And so for a lot of times throughout my career, with me being a DIY artist, with me not wanting to coattail my father's legacy, you know, like it like led to like a lot of like financial struggle in like a midst of like trying to execute. So I would have these grand ideas because I'm a Kanye fan. So I would have these grand ideas around like live show performance.
Word.
And like I would like try to like reach out to people, but I didn't have enough money to pay. And so it led to me learning how to do the software on my own and like learning how to execute on my own. And by doing that, it added to my practice.
Word.
And after a while, like I started getting like wind and like ears to like the grant circle, a woman that I was dating at the time. Don't worry, Lisa, I'm gonna give you your credit, yo. I'm gonna give you your fucking credit, yo. It's a woman that I was dating at the time that I absolutely can't stand now because she used to like call me gay because I listen to Frank Ocean. But like this woman that like I used to like date, she was into like the grant circle and she got an artist grant to like do a film. And I helped her out with it. And from there, I was like, oh, shit, it's money out here.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just started diving into that further. And then, so like that was like 2011. Fast forward 2015, I got my first grant to do some like projects. And it's been on the run since then.
Dope. Speaking of your projects, one project that you got out right now is the Seedless project. Can you break down what that's about in 60 seconds?
Yeah. Seedless is a site-specific short film performance art that's a film that's based around the slaves of Palmer Plantation and Juneteenth. They were given their freedom by Ed Gibbs, overseer, but they were in the same breath asked to or invited to work on the land as sharecroppers with their wages being a place to stay and food. And so Seedless examines when dynamics change, what's the foundation that someone has to apply to? So in this site-specific instance, the slaves of Palmer Plantation were the ones that had skills because white people didn't want to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like white people are just like, yo, we're gonna get y'all to do the work. So like when like slavery ended and like emancipation happened and like Juneteenth happened, we had to take those like raw skills that we had without the ability to galvanize, and we had to put together for ourselves to like create foundation for generations to come. And so that's what Seedless speaks on. It's really based off of the neighborhood that I grew up in, Lake Olympia, which is where the Freedom Tree is. Yes, guys, through examination, you can find out that slavery is actually proximal. It was proximal to me as a kid. I walked by that tree every day, didn't even know what it was.
Damn, that's what's up. Man, that was heavy. And
it's a historical landmark, so they got the plaque right there. Niggas just never looked.
Yeah, man. Like, man, when you go digging, man, you'll uncover a lot of, unknown history or just kind of intentionally hidden history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm
And
glad
it
you
puts it
touched on
into
that.
hindsight, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to school with these kids, and I'm just like, man, their grandparents, like, yo, like, what if some of these kids that I went to school with have always lived in this area? What then? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like, man, like I'm like really going to school with some like kids who like ancestors really owned this shit. It's not just like the talk about it, like how like slavery and like emancipation and like reparations are talked about in like the hype of social media. This is actually proximal.
Exactly.
This is actually like fucking my next door neighbor could have been there.
You could touch it. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like I walk by that tree to go to the park every day.
Yeah.
As a kid.
You literally right with your ancestors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I'm saying? Just
so
chilling.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Which was why I was so covered in that strange land of Lake Olympia.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm right there with my ancestors. But yeah, man.
Man, that's what's up, man. So yeah, last point we'll touch on, man. We might have to do a part 2 because I know we got a lot more.
Sheesh.
But man, you know, I want to first of all,
man, let me and Flagger come up here for the part 2.
You know, but that's what we're gonna do. I think we might have to do it that way to do the duel.
Yeah.
So man, so I just wanted to congratulate you, man. You know, you recently became a father, man. So I wanted to kind of really, you know, this is Gentleman's History Hour, man. So life is about more than, you know, just like art and creativity and stuff like that. You know, it's about actually being a man and just living life and kind of trying to grow and plant those seeds or whatever. So how would you say like having a father has changed your outlook on life, your outlook on the way you even approach your creativity and everything?
Man, it's true that having a kid gives you a different drive. And my kid is not the scapegoat for my creativity. My kid isn't the anchor for me to get up and do. I'm not gonna allow my kid to bear that responsibility of being the person that drives me to do what I need to do. My shift in mind state came at the start of COVID. My shift in mind state actually started to happen at like the end of 2019. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've always been in like heavy thoughts about like my career, and I've always had the idea of like when I get into my 30s, I want to like change my approach. It just so happens that like I had a kid, but like you know, like as far as like my approach to creativity, it's always been there. And like my kid is definitely like a motivator, but I can't place him as the anchor.
No doubt.
For that. He still has a lot of shit to do. He could look up on YouTube when he gets 6 and sees this and be like, oh, I got pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
he has a whole lot to do, man. Live your life, man. Like, don't worry. You are not the backbone of your father's success. Your father's drive and his will to provide for you is that. So like, that's what I say about that. But what like I wanted to say earlier when you brought it up is that this year is the last year that I get to mirror myself with my father. My father's last album came out when he was 33. I used to use my father's albums as a kid or like as a young adult to like use it as a mirror to where like to see how he was thinking when he was 18 when he put out Bone Hard Zaggin', to see how like no Bone Hard Zaggin' came out in 92, so he's like 21, to see how he was thinking at 21 when he came out with Bone Hard Zaggin', or for like We Gon' Funk With Your Mind to come out in 94, to see how he was thinking when he was around like 24, 25.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For Southside Story to come out in 96, to see how he was thinking around his like mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? For like Done Deal and like The Gift to come out in his late 30s, to realize that he had a pause in there. And that pause was to raise me and my little brother. But then he came back with a refreshed mind state. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember my dad stopping smoking cigarettes and like when he turned 30. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He just came back with like a different mind state. And so like I listen to his albums now, his like the Gift and Done Deal, I listen to it, you know what I'm saying, and it's like refreshing. But it's also bittersweet at the same time. Cause this is literally the last year that I'm gonna be able to mirror myself with like my father. And so when I think about that, you know, it makes me want to change up my content and like the stuff that I talk about. It makes me want to grow up my music faster, which was always the goal anyway, to like in my 30s. Like I always was like, yo, I'm gonna make my Blueprint album in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? So like I've always wanted to do that, but it's just like, all right, like I need to be aware of like how to put things out there. You know what I'm saying? Like how to leave messages for like my son that just extend outside of the conversations that we are eventually gonna have, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So like he can like reach out and just like use me as a study, just be like, yo, like what was my father thinking? So yeah.
But hey man, you know, this has been a dope session, man. Like for me, man, I just want to salute you on like your longevity, man, because I've been around this type of thing for a long time, and I've seen many people come and many people go. You know what I mean? Sure. So a lot of people don't have the fortitude to stay with it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if it's in your veins, if it's in your blood, you know what I mean? It's like breathing. It's not about something you do or something you're trying to get a quick lick off of. Yeah. This is who you are. This is a part of your existence, your being.
But if this was a lick, I would have been stopped.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, it takes more food off the table than it puts on the table or whatever. So I gotta love it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So man, but yeah, I see that in you, man, and I just want to let you know that I admire that, and I totally like respect you. And you know, I've been around you for a long time, man, and see you come a long way. You know, man. Hey, thanks for joining me on this session. So GHH, man,
I will
the history
also
of a gentleman.
Yeah, I will also say
Yeah.
I had great big homies to look up to, man.
Oh man,
I had you and look. I had you and EQ, man.
Word,
you know
right
what I'm
on.
saying? Like you guys, you feel me? Like just like, bro, from Dave and Buster's to like here. You know what I'm saying? First time I met you guys at a fucking Dave and Buster's. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all out there with the district.
Yep.
Hold on, what's boom?
Yep.
The district. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And man, like I remember being in the car on the way back listening to that and just being like, yeah, man.
And y'all called us back.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah, man. So and bro, like even man, look, man, the standard.
Oh yeah. Man.
Being the young, look, I'm gonna put you on to something, man. Y'all was instrumental in my growth, man.
Man.
I was at the standard, 18.
Oh, I remember that. Oh man.
Back in 28 years old. like accelerating my understanding. You feel
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes,
Being
sir.
able to be taught, you know what I'm saying, by like beautiful women that like had patience and the stupidity to deal with an 18-year-old. But you know what I'm saying? Like both of those things, you feel me, is just like, yo man, like I learned a lot just being around you guys, and I had a lot of opportunities and a lot of life experiences and like a lot of lessons that were taught from just like being around, and then things spawn from there.
Man, that's dope, man. And I remember coming up and didn't always have like those type of OGs or folks that were kind of already on doing their thing, and they kind of like shooed me to the side, man. I never wanted to be like that. You know what I mean? And when y'all came through, man, it was refreshing, man. I'm from Houston, man, and I see youngsters that's really getting busy and really exploring like the full gamut of what the hip hop culture represents. And y'all were there, y'all breath of fresh air. Y'all came to a couple of those shows, man, and y'all knew some of the lyrics too. I was like, hold up, man.
Yeah, man, we jamming, bro.
I was like, hey, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's
Dude,
an extension,
like you guys
man.
mean the world to us.
And so, but we get something from that too. You feel me? So, man, shout out to Equality. He's running the boards today. You know what I mean? You know,
EQ, baby. What's good, EQ, man? What's good, man?
What up?
How your thigh feeling, man?
this dude here, man.
Trouble.
No, but we definitely got to bring back part 2 of this session, man.
Yes,
so this is
sir.
Gentleman's History Hour, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, you know, drop a comment, man. We need y'all to DT in, you know, because we got to do these numbers. You feel me?
Yeah.
Where's it gonna be at? Like what spot does it pop up at? Is
It's
it
on
like right
Spotify.
here? No, like in the post edit. Is it gonna pop up like right, boom, or is it gonna pop up like
Oh,
It's gonna do a little bit of both. We're gonna switch them. You know, it's gonna hit
somewhere in here?
multi-angles.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right here, right here in the middle.
Right here, subscribe right there.
Shout out to Flagger, man. We're gonna do the part 2. We're gonna bring everybody.
Yes, sir.
Do
Hey,
that.
man, this is gonna be a beautiful thing, man. They got to get a bigger table. EQ, man. Hey, man. Shoo.
All right, y'all. Thanks again, man. We out of here, man. I go by the name of Savvi, aka Poindexter, aka the Corporate Trap God for Gentleman's History Hour, and we got our special guest, the Aspiring Me, man. Thank you for joining us, man. And we out of here, man.
Much love. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank
Peace.
You. Peace.
If you're watching this on YouTube, man, hey, y'all, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is Gentleman's History Hour.